Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Steff and this is Adjust with Caution. Alright, transparent moment. So in 2017, so in 2017 I created a nonprofit organization called Tilted Crowns Incorporated, and it was basically for myself to encourage and just be there as support and whatnot for young girls and women, emotionally, spiritually, physically, everything that they would need. The whole purpose or the basis of the organization was for me to be someone, or for me to be the person that I needed when I was younger. So when I was younger, I always felt, or I had felt, and still of course to this day, when I was younger, I felt like, how you feel overlooked and like nobody really understands you, nobody really hears you and all that stuff. So I wanted to be that person to hear you and to be there for you and to pray for you, to pray with you, and just to be encouraging to young girls. I wanted to be that person to somebody else. So I wanted to be the person that I needed when I was young. So for most of my life, I would always be the friend that people would go to talk about things, to vent, to just be that, I would say, non-judgmental person. Like people would just talk to me and they would feel comfortable. Hopefully they felt comfortable in some type of peace or something when they would talk to me. And most of the time I would try to give some good godly counsel. Like most of the time my advice was always some biblical reference or something to do like, you can do it, girl, don't worry about it, whatever. And I enjoyed it. I always felt like I did my part. I did something good with my life. And so after years of praying and wondering what in the world am I here for, I felt and believed that God had given me this idea of the organization, the nonprofit. And so months went by and I was thinking of like a name. I was just thinking about what my purpose was and what my purpose should be, and where it started. I was trying to think of everything about me that would sum up into one thing. So I was like, well, maybe this is it. So after months of praying and thinking about it, I thought of a name and I researched nonprofits. I did a lot of stuff, looking into it, emails, phone calls, just everything that I could really think of. And I went ahead and got my certificate, and I went ahead and got my paperwork done and all that stuff. But now it's been 2 years, almost 2 years, and of course I feel a little blah because I just feel like it's not going the way that I planned. I feel like, honestly, I don't necessarily feel like a failure, but I just feel like it's not going the way that I wanted it to go. But then on the other side, I have to think that it's not always about what I want or what I expect from it. When God gives you a gift, or he gives you an idea, or whatever it is that he gives you, things are not always going to play out the way that you desire for them to play out. because it's not about you. You're just the vessel. And it's not like you're just the vessel, but like saying you're not important, like you're just a portal or whatever. It's you are the vessel, but it's his purpose for your life. You know, it's his purpose to give you this gift to carry out in the world to use for other people. So it's not about what you want, it's about what he wants. And so we have to make sure to keep that mindset that it's not about me and my praises and my thoughts and my gifts and me. It's about him and what he wanted. He wanted for this purpose, this gift to put out into the earth. And so I guess I could say that I would wrestle, and still to this day, wrestle with the thoughts of this isn't what I thought it would be, and things aren't going the way I thought they would go. I wish things would happen like this or whatever. And it's just like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to do next. And I just feel stagnant. You know, I feel like there's no growth. I feel like I'm just not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just there. I'm just existing. And it makes you feel like, did I rush into it? You know, was this really God that I heard, or was it just me trying to find something to do? So it's like, it's always a struggle or an issue to kind of find yourself in the process. And lately, I've been feeling like, honestly, I've been feeling like I just wish I hadn't started it all. And a part of me, like me just saying that, I kind of felt that in my spirit, like, girl. And it's like, a big part of me is like, I know that it had to have been God, because if it wasn't, then I wouldn't have did it at all, because that's not my character. That's not who I am, to go out and create and build a whole nonprofit organization. Like, that's a big deal. You know, it may not be a big deal to other people, but to me, like, that's a big deal for an introvert like me, who don't really like people, who don't really like to talk to people. And like, that is a huge deal for somebody like me. And for me to have done that, it's like, that had to have been God. That had to have been him. That wasn't just me being bored. That had to have been him. So in that sense, I always try to go back to that and remind myself, like, Stephanie, this isn't about you. It's not what you wanted. It's not. It was a desire for you to please God. It was a desire for you to find your purpose so that you can show people the God that is in you. And with that, I believe that this organization was a part of my way of giving back. And in that specific vein, I'm just like, I suck. Like, I'm not doing what I need to do. And it kind of just makes you, or I just feel like, about it. You know, I'm not as motivated as I was before. I don't feel as confident or encouraged or any of that as I was before, and it kind of sucks. So it's like, when you feel that way, you have to find a way to get back to that place where you were excited. Get back to that place of encouragement. Get back to that place of joy. Get back to that place, because You have been chosen by the Most High God. You have been chosen by the King of Kings. You have been specifically chosen for this very specific purpose at this very specific time in this very specific season. You have been chosen. And it's like sometimes I have to remind myself that. Not sometimes, I do have to remind myself that. I don't necessarily like stand in the mirror and be like, Stephanie, this is what you were chosen for, which I probably should, just to try it out and see if it works for me. But sometimes you have to do those things. Sometimes you have to go to the extreme to get yourself to line up, or to get your natural mind and the natural part of you to line up with the spiritual you, because we can be off sometimes. And our natural mind, when we don't see things the way that God sees them, we get discouraged because we're like, no, I don't see it, so it's not real. Like you thought, no, I don't see anything, so I don't get it. And that's one thing about God, and that's one thing about faith. Now faith is the substance of all things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now faith. So it's like we have to have the now faith, not the later faith. We have to have the now faith to get in position now to believe that I was chosen for this now season. I was chosen for this now specific purpose, me, right now. Even though we don't see it now, we need to believe it now, and we need to spiritually see it now, that what he's called us to do is happening now. Although physically we don't see it, but spiritually it's happening. Because when you walk in faith, miraculous things happen, supernatural things happen, because our God is the God of now faith. Our God is the God of supernatural and miraculous things. There's no time with him. So we operate on man-made time and calendars and things like that. But with God, there's no such thing, because he is infinite. He's beyond those things. And it's hard for us to understand why things happen when they happen, and we feel like he's not there when we need him to be there. And then, it's just always the right timing for us and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, he's not in time. You can't rush him because there is no time. There's no cap off. And that's something that we need to understand with us. We're like, well, if I don't hear an answer in 3 days, then I know it is what it is. But God is like, what's 3 days? Because I created a whole universe in 7. What's 3 days? Like, chill. So, I don't know. Sometimes we just need to remind ourselves that our purpose is not always, I don't want to say it's not always in our favor, but it's not always in our favor. Our purpose is not specifically for us. It's for God's purpose through us. And however he wants to operate is his business, because it's not about the vessel. It's not about us. It's not about how and when and where we want to use things. It's about how he wants to, how and when and where he desires, where he sees fit. Because he knows us better than we know ourselves, and he knows everyone else better than they know themselves. So we may feel like, no, I need to do this today, and I need to get this out today, or I need to do this within the next 3 days or next week or whatever like that. And he's like, no, you don't. So chill, I got this. Because whoever really specifically needs to hear this, or whoever you need to come in contact, they're not going to be there until a certain time. And he specifically designs things to coordinate the way that he sees fit. And it's like, it is what it is. Like, stop worrying about it. Let him be in control. You are not in control. We need to get our little God heads out of the way, because we are not the gods of the universe. He is. So it's like, chill. Yeah, I think that's about it. I just wanted to vent a little bit. And I wanted to just try out something different. As you can see, in a different setting. So I just wanted to try something a little different and just see how it works out. Hopefully this was interesting, and depending on the feedback, I will maybe try it again. I don't know. I want to try other things on the channel. I really want to do mukbangs because I love food. I would call myself a foodie, but I don't know. I don't think I'm like a true foodie, but I really love food and stuff. So I really want to do a mukbang, and yeah. I think that's about it. So yeah, go ahead and, like I said, click like, comment for ideas for different topics, different types of content of videos or whatever, and just to say hi. And don't forget to subscribe, and let's get out there and conquer those crowns. Don't forget to adjust with caution, because to whom much is given, much is also required. Love you guys already. Bye, lovelies.